come true.
We've got short stories. I think this is gonna be like a series I'm gonna start on the Patreon. Told you guys I'm gonna be dropping bangers on the Patreon, bro. Bangers. It's short stories. It's gonna be about Club America, the history of Club America. You know, one or two people asked me to check out this video, so we're gonna be diving in there. Yeah, I really, really appreciate the support, man. Quite a few of you guys have been subscribing to the Patreon. I really appreciate it, especially the Club America fans. That's one thing I can give to you guys. You guys are probably the most supportive fan base in the Liga MX, bro. I think you guys have shown the most amount of support to the Patreon and the main channel. You're gonna get special treatment. That special treatment is gonna be there. I'm gonna be dropping quite a lot of Club America content from now on because it makes sense. If you guys are showing love, man, why not continue showing love back? Yeah, we've got a quick history on Club America. This will be on the Patreon. It's Patreon exclusive. Sub, sub if you haven't already. Smash the like button. Oh,
In the history of Mexican soccer, there is a team that excites both.
well, let me make sure this video is recording first. Yep, it's recording. Let's get in there.
In the history of Mexican soccer, there is a team that excites both fans and enemies, America.
Fans and
Here's a
enemies.
summary of its history. On October 12, 1916, from the merger of the Record and Colón teams, Club America was born, a team formed exclusively by Mexican players. Despite having a poor first season, the new team caught the attention of the Mexican public, who until then had only seen foreign teams play. By 1924, America was a solid team, led by Rafael Garza Gutierrez, nicknamed Record, who helped the Cremas win their first league title.
Mm.
In a historic feat for the time, the Cremas won consecutive Major League championships from the 1924 season 5 to 192,728.
Whoa.
In the 1930s and 1940s, the team's quality declined until Garza Gutierrez came to the rescue, seeking out former players who were in a good financial position to solicit their support and help the club get back on its feet.
Mm.
Cooperation was swift. They came from all over, including President Adolfo Ruiz Cortines, who had been a fan of the Creams for 30 years.
Mm.
Very soon, the help paid off.
Mm.
However, conflicting interests within the board of directors sank the Americanists into a new slump, and in 1956 they were sold to the soft drink businessman Isaac Bisuto. With the aim of reviving the champion that they had been in past times, Bisuto hired a technical director of proven quality, Fernando Marcos. Marcos injected a spirit of arrogance into the blue and cream team. Despite suffering seasons of ups and downs, at the end of the 50s, the Americanists...
See, this is why as a football club, it's so important to have the right owner, bro. If you have a terrible owner, you are doomed. You are finished. You're finito. West Ham is an example, bro. Look at West Ham right now, in terrible shape. But having the right owner is so crucial for the success of a club. So crucial,
Despite suffering seasons of ups and downs, at the end of the 50s, the Americanists defeated the leader Guadalajara in key matches, despite their championship moniker. Thus, Chivas lost the first places in the competitions and the classic of classics of Mexican soccer was born. 59. It was a crucial
Okay,
year
so this rivalry was born in the 1950s. Wow, deep history, man. Deep history. No wonder why. There's so much tension between these two because it goes way back. Rivalry goes way back, man.
for America. The young businessman Emilio 9. It was a crucial year for America. The young businessman Emilio Azcárraga Milmo decided to acquire the team. To turn America into a real business, Azcárraga hired the most successful manager in the first division, Guillermo Cañedo. The brand new Millionaires, as they were called, achieved the league runner-up position in the 1962 and 1964 seasons. Once they had won their first championship in 37 years, Emilio Azcárraga set about creating a home for the Cremas, which would also serve to organize the 1970 World Cup, the emblematic Azteca Stadium. In the 1970 season, stars such as Enrique Borja and Chilean Carlos Reynoso arrived at America, who, led by Jose Antonio Roca, gave the team an offensive and spectacular style. At the beginning of the 1970s, Americanism was consolidated as one of the most important fan bases in Mexican soccer. In the 1975-76 season, after a great campaign, the Creamas played in the league final against the Leones Negros of the University of Guadalajara. With a renewed roster, the club crushed the Guadalajara team and won its 7th league title. In the first 5 years of the 80s, the relationship between Televisa and Club America was strengthened. Guillermo Cañedo gave way to an executive from the television company, Emilio Barroso, as president. With Carlos Reynoso as technical director, Barroso's first goal was to revitalize the team's image, for which in 1981 it was decided to change the nickname from Creamas to Aguila del America.
So what the
After
old nickname was Creamas. Okay, and then they changed to Aguilas del America. Does it stand till this day? Is this the same nickname that you guys have? Aguilas del America. And what does that even mean? Actually, no, let me check that up right now. Aguilas del America. Eagles of America. Eagles of America. A beautiful name. That's a beautiful name. Solid.
Creamas to Aguila del America. After a very successful decade in which they won 5 titles, America was restructured again. From 1990 to 1994, highly prestigious coaches and players were hired who did not meet the demands of the board. The club entered a slump that was reflected in the very low attendance figures registered by the Santa Ursula Giant. With Emilio Barroso still at the helm of
It seemed like America went through like lots of transitions, bro, over its history. So many ups and downs, but it stood the test of time. It stood the test of time. Lots of clubs would have probably gone out of business, probably file for like bankruptcy or like liquidate or something like that. But it stood the test of time, bro. I wonder why it's got a strong fan base. When a club is able to go through so many different problems, obstacles, it's bound to have a strong fan base.
With Emilio Barroso still at the helm of the team, Cuapa's top brass called on one of the greatest coaches in world football, the Dutchman Leo Benhacker, who in a very short time turned the Aguila del America into a true offensive powerhouse. However, the great Benhacker was fired and America faced a 13-year drought without winning a single local title.
13
In the
years.
21st century,
Wow.
the Aguila have lived up to their legend. In the summer of 2002, led by Manuel Puente, they were crowned champions with a 3-2 victory over Rayos del Necaxa. 3 years later, in the 2005 Clausura, America was crowned champion again by defeating
Is that my boy, Cuauhtemoc Blanco, fam? Legend, bro. Such an iconic face, iconic. But it seemed like from like the 2000 onwards, that's when America really, really like went from like a big club to like an elite club in Mexico, bro. That's when they became like the Real Madrid, because I think prior to like the 2000s, Chivas, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. Chivas kind of like, had the edge. I think after the 2000s, that's when America really like went crazy, bro. They started dominating, started winning lots of trophies, started to pull away in something like numbers.
America was crowned champion again by defeating the Ticos from Universidad Autónoma de Guadalajara, with Cuauhtemoc Blanco as the central figure. But the first decade of the 21st century was also important in terms of international championships. In 2006, the Aguila won the CONCACAF Championship, which sent them to the World Club Championship in Japan for the first time. In 2007, they reached a CONMEBOL final for the first time, although they did not win. In 2008, led by Juan Antonio Luna, the team reached the semi-finals of the Copa Libertadores. With these achievements, in 2010, the International Federation of Statistics and History named them the best Mexican team of the decade.
Wow.
In 2011, the club was restructured and the board of directors decided to appoint Ricardo Pela as the sports president of Club America, who, in turn, appointed Miguel Herrera as technical director, with whom, in 2013, they defeated Cruz Azul on penalties in the grand
Yeah,
final.
I think I remember this game, bro. What an iconic game this was. What an iconic game. Probably one of the most significant games in America's history, right? I think it must be up there as one of the best games ever for America.
Penalties in the grand final of the 2013 Clausura to win their 8th title. In the 2014 Apertura, America faced Tigres from Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León in the final, and after losing the first leg 1-0, America
Mm,
managed to turn the score around, thus
we won.
obtaining another league title. Almost 100 years after its founding, Club America has established itself as the most successful team in the Mexican League.
Mm. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And there's no denying, Club Makers impact in Mexican football. It's massive. I think they are the Real Madrid of North American football. There's no denying that. But yeah, that was just a quick history on Club America. Might do another something similar to this to like Chivas, to like the different Liga MX teams. But if you guys like this idea, just let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. I mean, I really, really appreciate the support. Continue to sub to the Patreon, continue to show support. Now continue to show support as well to the Liga MX. And yeah, that's it.